The Book of the Damned, by Charles Hoyfort, Chapter 4D. The Kentucky Phenomenon. So it was called in its day, and now we have an occurrence that attracted a great deal of attention in its own time. Usually these things of the accursed have been hushed up or disregarded, suppressed like the 7 black rains of Slains, but upon March 3, 1876, something occurred in Bath County, Kentucky, that brought many newspaper correspondents to the scene. The substance that looked like beef that fell from the sky. Upon March 3, 1876, at Olympian Springs, Bath County, Kentucky, flakes of a substance that looked like beef fell from the sky, from a clear sky. We'd like to emphasize that it was said that nothing but this falling substance was visible in the sky. It fell in flakes of various sizes, some 2 inches square, 1, 3, or 4 inches square. The flake formation is interesting. Later we shall think of it as signifying pressure, somewhere. It was a thick shower, on the ground, on trees, on fences, but it was narrowly localized, or upon a strip of land about 100 yards long and about 50 yards wide. For the first account, see the Scientific American, Volume 34, page 197, and the New York Times, March 10, 1876. Then the exclusionists. Something that looked like beef. 1 flake of it the size of a square envelope. If we think of how hard the exclusionists have fought to reject the coming of ordinary-looking dust from this Earth's externality, we can sympathize with them in this sensational instance, perhaps. Newspaper correspondents wrote broadcast and witnesses were quoted, and this time there is no mention of a hoax, and, except by one scientist, there is no denial that the fall did take place. It seems to me that the exclusionists are still more emphatically conservators. It is not so much that they are inimical to all data of externally derived substances that fall upon this earth, as that they are inimical to all data discordant with a system that does not include such phenomena, or the spirit or hope or ambition of the cosmos, which we call attempted positivism. Not to find out the new, not to add to what is called knowledge, but to systematize. Scientific American Supplement, Volume 2, page 426. That the substance reported from Kentucky had been examined by Leopold Brandeis. At last we have a proper explanation of this much talked of phenomenon. It has been comparatively easy to identify the substance and to fix its status. The Kentucky wonder is no more or less than nostoc, or that it had not fallen, that it had been upon the ground in the first place, and had swollen in rain, and, attracting attention by greatly increased volume, had been supposed by unscientific observers to have fallen in rain. What rain, I don't know. Also it is spoken of as dried, several times. That's one of the most important of the details. But the relief of outraged propriety, expressed in the supplement, is amusing to some of us, who, I fear, may be a little improper at times. Very spirit of the Salvation Army, when some third-rate scientist comes out with an explanation of the vermiform appendix or the os coccyx that would have been acceptable to Moses. To give completeness to the proper explanation, it is said that Mr. Brandeis had identified the substance as flesh-colored, nostoc. Professor Lawrence Smith of Kentucky, one of the most resolute of the exclusionists. New York Times, March 12, 1876. That the substance had been examined and analyzed by Professor Smith, according to whom it gave every indication of being the dried spawn of some reptile, doubtless of the frog, or up from one place and down in another. As to dried, that may refer to the condition when Professor Smith received it.